Hello, everyone. This is Laura, and welcome back to Become a Fluent English Speaker. Today, I want to talk about something that almost everyone struggles with: starting a new habit, starting a new project, starting a conversation, starting to exercise, starting to learn something new. Sometimes we know exactly what we want to do. We even know how to do it, but somehow we don't start. I experienced this myself when I decided to improve my English speaking. I had already studied English for years. I could understand a lot. I could read. I could listen to podcasts. But speaking felt different. I kept telling myself, I'll start speaking when my English gets better. It sounded reasonable. But there was a problem. My English wasn't going to improve through speaking unless I actually started speaking. So I made a simple plan. Every evening, I would speak English for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. Nothing complicated. The first evening arrived. I sat at my desk. I opened my notebook. I looked at the clock. Then I thought, maybe I'll start tomorrow. The next evening, I said the same thing. Then another day passed. Then another. I had created a plan. I had the time. I had the materials, but I wasn't doing anything. One evening, I asked myself a simple question. Why am I making this so difficult? The answer surprised me. I was imagining the entire journey before taking the first step. I was thinking about becoming fluent. I was thinking about making mistakes. I was thinking about how long it might take. I was thinking about difficult conversations. I was thinking about everything I would need to do. The goal felt enormous, so I decided to make it smaller. I didn't tell myself, become a fluent English speaker. I told myself, speak one English sentence. That's it. One sentence. I looked at the clock and said, today was a busy day, but I still have time to practice my English. It wasn't perfect. It didn't need to be perfect. Then I said another sentence. Then another. 10 minutes later, I was still speaking. Something had changed. Starting had been the hardest part. Once I started, continuing wasn't nearly as difficult. This taught me an important lesson. Sometimes the problem isn't the task. The problem is the size of the task in our minds. When we think about everything at once, our brain can feel overwhelmed. We imagine the effort. We imagine the mistakes. We imagine the uncomfortable moments. Then we decide to wait. We tell ourselves, I'll do it when I have more time. I'll do it when I feel ready. I'm doing it tomorrow. But tomorrow can become next week. Next week can become next month. And eventually, something we really wanted to do becomes something we only think about. That's why small beginnings can be powerful. Instead of saying, I need to study English for 1 hour, say, I'll listen to English for 5 minutes. Instead of saying, I need to write an entire book, say, I'll write 1 paragraph. Instead of saying, I need to exercise every day, say, I'll walk for 10 minutes. The goal isn't to finish everything immediately. The goal is to make starting easy. Once you begin, you create something important. Momentum. Momentum means movement that becomes easier to continue after it has started. Think about pushing a heavy box. The first push requires a lot of effort. Once the box starts moving, pushing it can become easier. Our behavior can work in a similar way. The first action may feel uncomfortable. The next action feels a little easier. Then another action becomes part of your routine. Eventually, something that once felt difficult becomes normal. This is especially important when learning a language. Many learners wait until they feel confident before speaking. But confidence usually comes after action. You speak, you make mistakes. You survive the mistakes. You learn from them. Then you become a little more confident. You speak again. Your confidence grows. That's how progress happens. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be willing to begin. There's another thing I learned from this experience. Don't judge the quality of your first attempt too quickly. Your first conversation may be awkward. Your first recording may sound strange. Your first English sentence may contain mistakes. That's okay. The first attempt has a different purpose. Its purpose is to get you moving. You can improve later. Think about a child learning to walk. The child doesn't stand up and immediately walk perfectly across the room. They stand. They fall. They try again. They take one step, then another. Nobody looks at the child and says, "That was a terrible first attempt. Give up." We understand that learning takes time. We should give ourselves the same patience. So, if there is something you've been delaying, make it smaller. Don't ask, "How can I finish this?" Ask, "What is the smallest action I can take right now?" Maybe it's opening the book. Maybe it's writing one sentence. Maybe it's making one phone call. Maybe it's speaking one sentence in English. Take that first step, then see what happens. Before we finish today's podcast, let's learn some useful English vocabulary from today's story. Procrastinate means to delay doing something that you need to do. Overwhelmed means feeling that something is too difficult or too much to handle. Momentum means movement that becomes easier to continue after it has started. Attempt means an effort to do something. Delay means to do something later than planned. Fluent means able to use a language smoothly and naturally. Confidence means the feeling that you can trust your own abilities. Progress means movement toward improvement or a goal. Now here's today's challenge. Choose one thing you've been delaying. Don't finish it. Don't create a huge plan. Just start. Give yourself 5 minutes. If you're learning English, speak for 5 minutes. Describe your day. Talk about your plans. Explain something you learned. Make mistakes. Keep going. After 5 minutes, you can stop. But you may discover something interesting. The thing you were afraid to start may not be as difficult as you imagined. Before you leave, answer today's question in the comments. What's one thing you've been wanting to start but keep delaying? Maybe writing it down will be the first step. If you enjoyed today's English listening podcast, don't forget to subscribe to Become a Fluent English Speaker. This is Laura, and remember, you don't need to see the entire path before taking the first step. Keep listening, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next podcast.